Lucky again, starting up day 4 on Insane with 20-minute days. And this is a broadcast of the PS4 version 1.18 of 7 Days to Die. Now, when I ended day 3, or day 3's episode there, I had a couple zombies bearing down on me, so it's going to be really interesting to see if I'm dead. I don't know if, while the environment here is building, if they're actually able to move and attack me, or if I'm a valid target or not, but I guess we're going to learn pretty quick here. The plan for the day is to collect the last of the resources I need to build a horde base. I'm going to need somewhere around 400-ish clay and pretty much as much stone as I can get a hold of. Well, I guess the zombies despawned altogether. Huh. Groovy. Well, I gotta put that meat in my chest there. An impromptu zombie attack had me keep it in my pockets. Oh, I thought that was a zombie, just a cactus. Oh boy. Grab my chair of awesomeness. I think I'm going to keep that grain alcohol on. It might be really helpful with these short days. I want to be able to maximize that time, and if I can keep that stamina of mine pinned, all the better, right? Don't need quite that much wood. There we go. Should probably queue up a couple more stone axes as well. Again, we're trying to maximize the day. I was thinking I'd come up here. There's a little clay pit with those iron rocks on there. Because I have the scrap armor schematics, it's gonna be a priority of mine to get that much more iron. I'm thinking for my horde base, I'm going to use some of those log spikes, which is going to suck up quite a bit of the stuff, but I don't know, we'll have to see once I start getting everything constructed. From any of you viewers, I'd love to hear your ideas around what a horde base should or should not be. I know I have my ideas, and I generally deviate towards a smaller footprint for the base. So if you look at it from the top down, it's taking up less squares. I feel like those are a bit easier to defend, and it's also less materials that you need to end up collecting, which can really help you out when you're on some of these shorter days. I'm starting to think there's no way I'm going to get enough resources just today, but another idea that I like to run with as far as my horde bases is I'll build what I need in the moment. I might have these grand plans as to what a base should look like, or have a nifty schematic that I want to kind of put into play, but the priority is always meet those basic needs as far as my horde bases. Here goes the stone axe. And I know I mentioned it a couple episodes ago, but I'm going to be going with predominantly flagstone and adobe for my horde base. I don't expect too significant of a horde. I haven't really had enough time to gain levels, which I understand dictates the size of the horde, nor have I lived for too terribly long. I mean, in game right now, it's been what? The equivalent of 70 minutes. So I'm not sure if it's counted by minutes or days that you stay alive, but these things supposedly impact the how big a horde is. So hopefully it's not an underwhelming horde, but in all likelihood we're going to be looking at like maybe 4 zombies. That's kind of my guess. And I feel these rocks are just so tedious to break when you have stone tools. I mean, they do break fairly rapidly, a lot more easily than those big guys over there, but that and it's better for the resources. I'm not seeing any zombies around. Doing things like hitting rocks, hitting metal objects, knocking down trees, or even making, or rather upgrading items out of wood or breaking wood, all generate some noise, which on one level or another will attract the zombies. So I'm not going to be too surprised if we get 1 or 2 kind of sniffing around eventually. I also need to take care of my tool belt there. It's looking pretty shabby with my 2 half bows and my crappy wooden club. Let's see, it's 1500. So I got a couple more hours. Kind of as a general rule of thumb for myself, when I'm wandering around, and this is particularly relevant when you're playing a 50 or 60 minute day, if I have any activities that take me far away from the base, I'll go and do those kind of early in the day, and then I like to work my way back towards the base and do some mining around the base as evening approaches. Just lets me have a safe place to spend the night, or at least a place to hide if the zombies start running around. The other option, of course, is to bring everything you need for a little fighting position or base. So if you can't make it back, at least you're not SOL. Well, my stamina regenerates, so I'll pick up some of these snowberries. I'll keep a couple on hand in my chest. So if for some reason I run out of meat, I do have a little bit right now, but if I ever run out, I'll be good to go. At least for a little while I can stave off the hunger, which will reduce your wellness. That, and I need some more cotton, so there's that. I'm gonna go finish up that other rock here in a minute. Still no zombies. These rocks are really wonderful for collecting various resources in addition to the always needed stone and the very helpful iron. But if you're running around looking for these things, I'm gonna warn you, bears look a lot like these rocks, and sometimes you find that out way too late. And those bears, they can really book it, and when they hit you, you know you got hit. I imagine on this difficulty without armor on, a bear would probably one-shot me, but I'm not willing to put that to the test yet. Still seems like smooth sailing. And I've pretty much spent the whole day collecting rocks. I'll get him down and then spend the remaining time collecting that clay. I can start crafting that cobblestone. Sort of pass it. Oh, there's a zombie. I don't know if y'all saw him over there. Yeah. He's getting drawn in by this noise right now. And he just saw me. If you see the corners of my screen, they lightened up a couple seconds ago. That means I'm actively being hunted as opposed to sensed. So we're going to do the insane mode thing, and oh hey, we got a whole little gang right here. This looks a lot like the crew that was chasing me down the other day. I guess plans change. We're going to go for a little jog. Now what I did was I ran directly away from the direction I need to go. And now I'm hooking off to the side, and I'm going to try to break that line of sight. So, yep, I end up sensed, and they kind of know I'm around somewhere, but they're wandering off either directly away from where I need them to be, or I guess directly towards where I need them to be and away from where I want to be, or they're going to be on that dog leg that I made and walking off in a random direction east. Well, that was pretty ideal. That worked out pretty swell. You know, I'm going to knock down a tree real close to the house. In the early stages, I really like hitting these trees that are only 300 hit points, because you get a reward as you knock the whole thing down, and your wood needs generally aren't too... Oh, damn it, there's a zombie right there. Well, this ain't good. Where's my chair? Priorities, right? There we go. I think we're gonna have a fight tonight, guys. And gals. And non-binary folks. So I'm not going to risk trying to pull him away from the base. I'm being a fool about my upgrades. There we go. Chair over there. Just in time. I need a third chair. I really like the chairs. I imagine y'all noticed. Just one of those little things that I've been able to employ and stay alive pretty frequently due to. I don't know if any of you guys have any sneaky little strategies like that, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to hit him, am I? Ooh, well. Let's see. Where is my bow? There we go. I'm going to scrap him out. Key up an arrow. And he broke my chair. But because I was still and quiet, he lost track of me. We're not going to have that luxury when it comes to Horde Night. They will stay hunting you. Up until dawn, I've never tried losing a Horde after the sun came up, but yeah, that might be worth testing sometime there. Since he's off and doing his own thing, let's see what kind of haul we pulled in. 400 stone. That is pretty legitimate right there. Let's get these arrows up and running. I don't need a pocket full of sand, so I'll throw that there. Probably don't need all these shovels and whatnot. Keep the snowberries. I'm all out of clay, aren't I? Well, I got 10 clay, so I might as well be out of clay. I don't think I'm going to be getting a forge before I need this iron, so I'm scrapping it down. The scrap down rate is not, it's not as efficient as if you were to smelt it in the forge, but that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. It should take a couple minutes. Now I can start working on this thing. I know this has probably been a very thrilling episode for y'all, watching me hit things with the stone axe and running away from zombies. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to put them in the comments section. I know that I've dropped some little tips here and there, but if there's anything you'd like me to speak to in detail, I'd be happy to do so. You just gotta let me know what you want to know about. Almost through. Alright, another chair. Best find in the room. A couple painkillers ain't bad though. Oh yeah, now I can be real fashionable. Look at that. I'm not even going to begin to horse around with that thing. It's got some ridiculous 2,500 hit points. And I do all of 8. So it'll take a while. Although I don't plan on staying here forever, and this place is kind of falling apart on me. I do plan on at some point in time getting in there. Clean up the trash here. Those little piles of trash will give you glass or paper, which paper is very useful later on. It's helpful for making blunderbuss ammunition as well as the shotgun shells. I'll save that scrap down for later. Once I'm done with all these builds, I'll be calling it an evening, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Let's see. I'm gonna be low on food there. I should eat a bit. Let's see where we're at. Definitely an interesting place. There's that cave that we almost fell in. Looks like the network's over there too. So we'll give it a little cave icon. And hopefully we'll see that coming up as we're running towards it and try to not fall in there. Alright, we'll catch you all next time.